Morning. It's a lovely Saturday morning, and today I'm going to be doing an oil change on Mr. Postman. First order of business is going to be to take I have nowhere to put this light, drain, or the fill cap off of the motor, and have a look in there. It looks like there's oil. Oh, get caught on the cable. There we go. I'm gonna close that up just because I don't really have clearance to raise the hood completely during this event. I also found out that I don't have a my filter wrench adapter, so I'm going to be bear clawing the filter off today. So that's going to determine whether this happens or not. At this very attractive angle, I know. Put the drain pan over there. I'm going to grab one of my lab coats. Hang on. Alright, now that we are under the belly of the beast, we're gonna go under here, and there's the filter that I'm going to be manhandling. As you can see, it's completely and utterly disgusting under here, but you know, the importance of having a winter beater is I don't really give a fuck about this car. Which, you know, I think it's important to have a car like that you can just kind of like, you know, do the bare minimum on, and you know, as long as it gets you to work, it's good. Because you know, most of my money goes into Val, and you know, that's just the way it is, right? I can treat Val with respect, and you know, do the very best in maintaining her, while Mr. Postman, you know, he's just a dude. He's just, you know, one of the guys. He's hanging out, having a good time, doing the Lord's work, right? Taking on every winter with no hesitation. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this with my hands. I gotta go and find a wrench. My wrists are already filthy. That's amazing. All right, in a last-ditch effort, I did find Old Reliable hidden away in a drawer. So the oil change continues. I hope that I can get enough grip on this thing to turn it with this. Keep putting this pan there, expecting that I'm gonna get this off so simply. Maybe if I put one of my gloves on there. This isn't going as I thought it would. Oh, come on, come on. Yeah. Oh, shit. I gotta use the small end. Oh. So next year, you know, I'm really looking forward to it for the racing season. I think And you know, we'll see how this goes, depending on like budget constraints and scheduling and whatnot. But I think I do want to attempt a endurance race. So I'm going to talk with the local team that Patrick runs, Numi Racing. I might see if they'll let me rent a seat in their Lucky Dog car, because I really am curious to see how it compares to Time Attack. I know obviously it's significantly longer stints in the car and you're, you know, battling wheel to wheel. But, you know, I feel like that's the next progressive step. And, you know, if I really find I enjoy it a lot, that might just be what I end up doing full time throughout the racing season instead of just doing Time Attack with Val. Like, I still do want to drive Val on the track, especially motorsport, but it might be a more casual thing compared to endurance racing, depending on how it works for them. You know, it's something I never really considered before, but now that I'm getting like a better understanding of how the racing world works, and that you pretty much have to buy into your seat anywhere on a proper team, it sounds pretty enticing, honestly. It sounds pretty fun, and you know what? I couldn't think of a better team to start out with than them. So yeah, I'm excited if that's a prospect to see where that leads in my racing career. Another checklist item to tick off. I am still on the fence about how far I want to go with the aerodynamic upgrades with Val. I feel like maybe I'll just stick with coilovers for now. Like I do want to try and get some Olin DFVs over the season, the off season. I've heard really good things about them. I've been recommended them, and I've done a little bit of research, and honestly, it's a very exciting package that with custom spring rates I feel like would be very competitive and ultimately just feel really good on a daily track car. I gotta get a 14. You're gonna come with me for that? Oh, I'm lying on the ground. This isn't fun. But yeah, and you know, that kind of leads back into what I was saying before. If I am gonna start racing with Numi, and that's all just, you know, prospects again, nothing's been set in stone, then, you know, that would take a significant amount of, you know, need for a competitive package off of Val, and so I would just be able to devote that budget for the racing into you know, just getting my seat time in the that's tightening in the Numi car, which would take significant, you know, stress and wear and load off of Val. I feel like could enjoy it more as a daily driver slash Time Attack car, and not have to worry or obsess over, like, you know, the ultimate performance, even though that would be fucking amazing. But yeah, you know, the diffuser idea still stands. It's a cool idea that I've been playing around with in my head. The flat floor idea is really enticing to me because it seems so simple, right? Like, you just, you know, you get the big sheet of Alumilite, you get the, you know, the design, you cut it, you bolt it all up, and then ta-da, you know, and then from there you can kind of customize it, right? You can, you know, put arrow strakes and I do want to try and find someone with a 3D printer to see if I could make my own front splitter air dams, and try out that theory that I've been rattling around in my head as to the significant front aero gain that I would see, especially at GP. That would be, oh man, that would be so cool. I can't find a rag, but yeah, so that's just, you know, where I'm at right now, my little updates on the build situation. So I want to know in the comments, what are your guys' winter build plans or projects that you're going to be working on over this winter to you know, come back better than ever for the 2024 racing season. Now we're gonna go in the car and we're gonna try and find a drain plug gasket. It's kind of a mess at the moment. I don't know why I bought so many of these. They give them to you for like $1 or even free sometimes if you go there and you just ask for one. But I bought like 6 all at once and it came to like freaking $30. So that was kind of not my brightest moment. Oh, I forgot the filter. Oh, you get to come with me again. We get to go get the filter. Where's the filter? It's in here. Oh yeah. Now, when you're putting a new oil filter on, you always want to make sure that the old gasket came off with the filter and is not stuck on the housing, because if you double gasket, it's not fun. Now, what I'm gonna do, most important thing number 2 right now, is open this up, and I'm gonna catch a little bit coming off here, and you're just gonna put a wee bit of motor oil on the gasket for the new filter. Delicious. That way it doesn't stick to the housing when you go to take it off, because it's a super annoying time getting a filter off when it's seized to the housing. And you don't want to use the wrench that you took it off with to tighten it. You're just gonna tighten it up by hand as good as you can. And yeah, that's the filter off. The motor oil is still dripping out a wee bit, so I will return once it is stopped. Alright, so the oil's just about done dripping there, but while I'm sitting here, you know, I've kind of wanted to mention this as well. There's like a lot of highway instability in these 9th gen Corollas, and I'm sure part of that has to do with its like pathetic weight and very high roofline, but also like there's not a lot of aero stability going on underneath here. especially in the front. Like there's this huge open spot between the front fascia and the radiator. Uh, you know, the underside of the engine compartment is completely exposed, except for like these two little things at the front. And then I also just like found this little piece of plastic that I zip tied underneath here to cover the rest of the transmission up to the differential housing. But like there is like no flat floor attempt or like underbody paneling whatsoever. So I would be like really curious to experiment a little bit with some plastic paneling, just like to cover at least this area between the rad and the front bumper, and then maybe make my own like skid plate sort of thing for underneath the engine, just to see, right? Because like this thing, it's so easily blown across the lanes on the freeway. It actually, it's very concerning. For me, at least, when I'm driving, like I feel like the thing is gonna fly off the road. Don't forget to take the old that's what just flew off of there. I thought I took it off already. The old gasket for the drain plug, that's got to come off, and you got to put a new one on beforehand, because otherwise, if you double gasket your drain plug, bad things are going to happen. You might lose all your oil pulling out of the driveway, and then, you know, that's a expensive problem that could be solved by, you know, negligence not being prevalent. Okay, so I'm gonna get some brake cleaner and just kind of clean off the oil pan of all this oil residue, and then I'm gonna meet you up top where we're gonna be filling up the oil after I take the Corolla off of my ramps here. All right, so now car's level. I'm gonna be putting in 5W30. I think it's about 4.5 liters if memory serves. And you know, been using Pennzoil Ultra Platinum ever since I got this car. You know, I use this in the race car as well. This is that that fucking juice, that good shit. I am switching over to 0W30 in the FRS, just because since I won't be using the AccuSump, I won't be able to prime the engine before I start it. So having a zero weight on startup is actually going to be beneficial, in my opinion, for getting lubrication where it needs to be as soon as possible. And I mean, you still have the 30 weight protection at temperature for, you know, when you're on the racetrack, right? I was going to use 540 or 040, but that seems, you know, a little bit excessive, and might actually lead to, from what I've read, oil pump cavitation, because you're making the pump work so hard and create so much vacuum that it actually might not have enough volume through it to lubricate itself properly, and then, you know, you run into the problem of now you've got cavities in the oil pump, and now it's not going to pump as much oil, and, you know, you starve your bearings inevitably. So we don't want that. So we're going with a nice happy medium of 0W30. I used that once last year and I didn't see any issues with it. You know, it might be a little bit more unstable just because, you know, you're going from 0 all the way to 30 instead of 5 all the way to 30. So, but you know, I usually I try to change the oil every 5,000 kilometers anyway, because it does see race duty, and it's a sports car, so you know, of course you're going to drive a little fast. So yeah, I'm not really too concerned. I'm going to be doing the Killer Bee pickup tube and maybe a baffle plate. So that'll also help with like sloshing and stuff like that. I'm excited, honestly, to get that thing out of the engine bay. It was kind of a mess to have that thing in there. It just kind of, it makes a lot of clutter in the engine bay, you know what I mean? Alright, how are we looking here? Okay, that should be enough. Now I'm gonna put the cap on before I start the motor and check the level. I also didn't use my funnel. I poured that straight from the bottle, so please appreciate the patience that took. I'm gonna put you up here so you don't fall into my engine bay. Put you over here so you can see this lovely face. And we're gonna check. And we're gonna wipe. And we're gonna put the dipstick back in. And then we're gonna check again. And if you can see that, which I don't think you can, we are, right on the money. So that concludes this little update slash TED Talk about what's going on with my cars and life in general right now. I'm gonna be uploading some old videos that I never got around to editing over the course of the winter. I've got one where I changed the spark plugs on the FRS. There's probably other ones. I think I've got one where I changed the suspension on the Corolla that has no voiceover, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do the voiceover for that. Yeah, I've got a bunch of like videos that I never got around to editing, so I'm gonna try and upload those over the winter and give you guys some content, some maintenance content, because you seem to like that. The frickin' intake manifold gasket video has over 20,000 views now, so that's insane. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little update, and enjoy your day.